Next thing we're going to talk about is our 4 vertical game and the way that we do it. Here's a diagram at 2x2. We'll go to 3x1 here in just a second. But 2x2, you look at the slots to begin with. What they're running is they're running a seam, of course. The way that we teach it is we want that guy to beat the underneath coverage with a POR, which is preferred outside release. The reason why we want to do that is to get outside there so this window here and this window here stay wide. If we get walled in there, that window gets really small. We're not going to be able to hit that, or we're going to have to bend all the way to the next window. So preferred outside release, if he's playing hard outside, we may slip inside. Biggest thing that we tell him, make sure you're playing fast. Beat underneath coverage as fast as possible. If outside, then that's great. We're going to create more space, and you're probably going to have a better chance of getting the ball. But if you have to go inside, that's okay as well. Just go and play fast. So right there, what we're doing is we're releasing. If there's nobody over the top, we continue down the seam. If there is somebody on top, we bend, and we bend both of them. I know I used to kind of based off protection, all that stuff. We knew where the bender was and who was tagged and all that stuff. But what we do is we just bend and get eye contact with the quarterback, and we're looking for that window right there. And what the other thing it also does is it'll bring those safeties in. If both of them stay on the hash and they're playing those seams, that's going to widen that window out here for the one-on-one with the what we call vertical read. And we'll talk about that. Vertical read. What we're doing with these outside receivers is we're releasing vertical, playing as fast as possible. Every time we release on this, we want to feel like we're going deep. We want to think we're going deep. Once we get to 12 yards, if we're not over the top of them or not even, we're going to stop and we're going to run a run back. We're just going to pivot out of it. We're not going to turn our back to the quarterback. We're going to pivot out and we're going to go back downhill right there. Running back, based off of what our protection is, we've got protection, then we're getting into the route, possible check down, what we call a GO, which basically means get open. And sometimes some routes, if you're working different windows, you may tell them, hey, we got to sit. We can't work out there. So right here we've got GO whenever we're running 4 verticals. So that if we do get down to him, he's got to be a viable option for the quarterback to check it down. Talking about the quarterback, what the quarterback looks for, as soon as the ball is snapped, our eyes going to go down the middle of the field. Is the middle of the field open or closed? If it stays open and these guys are tight on the hash, we know that they're probably playing those seams. Then we're probably going to go outside to the VR to our best matchup, or where we feel like there's most space. And if everything's equal, we're going to go to the shorter side of the field for a shorter throw, easier throw. But what we're doing right there, say that he gets way off the hash, now we're really sitting on that seam. If he gets underneath that seam, now we're getting back down to that check down. So it all works together, high lows, different things like that, and different reads. And we'll look at a little bit of film so we can get a pretty good look at it. Here's a look at it. Getting a forefront, 2 high safety, and we'll play it real quick. There's the snap, eyes down the middle, stays open, so we know that it's basically 3-on-2 on all these guys. So we're just going to continue to play. Quarterback decides he's going to go down to the shorter throw. He likes it. He comes off the hash right there. Possibly could have stuck that seam in that window if we really liked it, but he got off of it pretty quick, and he throws this vertical read right there for completion and a good gain right there early in the game. Here's another look from the same team, getting off of our mark a little bit. This defensive end up top is a really good football player. Gets us off our mark. Don't do a great job of setting. Running back doesn't do a great job either. So we're off our mark. We're going to the right. We have a VR right here with the run back, and we're able to hit it against that zone coverage. The interesting part about this was we did get an outside release, basically from this guy right here. He has to end up going inside, which is fine as long as we're playing fast, get into that window. We could still stick it on there, especially if you feel like that guy's got a really good arm, bending across his face, trying to keep all that tight if we don't get the ball in that window. And then right there, he's getting off his mark. He's able to make a play for a big gain. Here's a play right here. We'll play it real quick and you see exactly what takes place. All right, so it's actually a 1 high look. So whenever you think about 1 high look for 4 verticals, you're thinking, hey, these guys are probably going to stay up the seam. But the way that Mount Home plays it right here is they're getting back. And you can see he's giving a lot of ground, so there's still a guy over top of him, so we're going to bend across his face. Because if he's getting a lot of depth, odds are we're probably not going to throw that seam anyway. Bend across his face. If it's man-to-man, cover 1, then he's probably going to chase. Right there, we're bending. Right there, we're bending. So they're chasing, and that's opening the window more for these VRs on the outside. Right here, we're a little bit late with the throw, and I'd say probably the reason why we're late with the throw is because the wide receiver cuts his route down just a little bit. So right there, he cuts it down to 7 yards. If he plays it all the way out to about 10, then that time is going to be a little bit better because we're a little bit late on this throw. Just based on that, he's not able to catch it and have a lot of space to make a play. But right there, good read. Everybody's getting depth, so we want to try to go to our VRs with the one-on-ones and take completions. And, of course, if we would not have liked it, here's our check down starting to work. You can see the back starting to get out right there on this play. We got an end zone view of this one, so we'll play it real quick. You can see the check down. All right, so his protection doesn't come. We need to be getting there and working one way or another, so we're a viable option if the quarterback doesn't like it to take completion right there underneath. Here's a play of us running 4 verticals, backed up. Right here we are on the 1-yard line, state championship game, and realized there was no pressure, so we just dropped back, straight drop, and we knew that we were going to work this VR one side or the other. It's a little bit towards the middle of the field, so we know that we can go either way. Our slot receiver down here to the bottom of the field. Against the nickel, he jumps hard outside, so we release inside. That ends up opening that window a little bit more for that VR. We're able to get into a blind spot right there with our outside receiver. They're playing zone coverage good. They got a zone turn, so we're right there in a blind spot, and we're able to throw and catch right there on time. And you can look up top. We do get an outside release. Of course, why teams are starting to do this, and you'll see it a lot of times. They'll get that back over there on that side. They know that a lot of times teams are RPOing over here, and we do the same thing because that back will cross. We got to find something this offseason where we can read and throw RPOs over here that's not so much pre-snap. Right here we could throw pre-snap with an RPO, but right there he's bumped a little bit into the box. They put their nickel guy over there to the backside to try to stop those RPOs. But right there we get we have the inside release it, which is fine. Opens up the window for the VR.